There is no age so curious and effervescent, an age that ensures its social and intellectual evolution through certain marked contradictions and ambiguities, an age about which A.C. Ward remarks as an age of interrogation, and an age about which it was rightly said the sun never set on the British Empire. Yes, we are talking about the Victorian age in the history of English literature. Hello everyone, I warmly welcome you to this 8-week, 2-credit, 40-lecture online course on Understanding Victorian Poetry with special reference to Alfred Lord Tennyson and Robert Browning. I am Madhvi Lata, Assistant Professor, Department of English, Banaras Hindu University. This course is designed to explore some of the lesser discussed and relatively unexplored dimensions of Browning's poetry, along with understanding Tennyson as a poet of compromise with the help of his poem Ulysses, a symbol of ceaseless adventure and exploration. Conventionally, we have read and understood Browning as a robust optimist as well as a craftsman of dramatic monologue. However, there is a deeper side to his work that his poetry reflects, and it engages with three major dimensions: psychology, philosophy, and spirituality. He is not only an eminent, celebrated Victorian poet, but also a profound thinker, deeply concerned with complexities of human psyche, philosophical inquiry, and spiritual yearning. This we will try to understand with the help of the poem titled Rabbi Ben Ezra. Man and his inner world have always been his central focus, and he skillfully unravels man's emotion, be it jealousy or love. And we have some of finest examples in the form of My Last Duchess, Porphyria's Lover, The Ring and the Book, etc. Browning was writing during a time of significant religious upheaval brought on by scientific advancement, material progress, yet he remains unshaken, having firm belief in the existence of spiritual and divine power. Tennyson, the first among three major Victorian poets, famously known as representative poet of the age, newspaper of the age, or a poet prophet. How this we will try to understand and appropriate these statements about him with the help of his writings in this course. However, I would like to mention that the course has not included Matthew Arnold due to time constraint, but there will be a lecture, extensive lecture, wherein we will have comparative analysis of these three poets of Victorian era. Speaking about the relevancy of the course as to why this course is important, I would like to say that across the country at various universities, Victorian poetry with special mention to these two poets has been a vital part in the syllabi. Every university in the country has Victorian paper in its academic curriculum of English literature as one of the papers. Therefore, the present course intends to provide a foundational grounding in these two poets, not only for the students with English honors, but also for the students who have been recently admitted under the NEP curriculum. To give brief understanding of what we are going to learn from this course, like I spoke, the course has 8 modules. In module 1, we'll begin with overview of the age, highlighting its historical, social and intellectual backdrop. However, lectures under module 2 will explore the meaning and making of two poets, Browning and Tennyson, along with understanding characteristics of Victorian poetry, a brief discussion on major poets, including pre-Raphaelite brotherhood. Module 3 will discuss Tennyson as a poet and line-by-line interpretation of his poem Ulysses, along with a lecture wherein we will see thematic concerns dealt in select poems by Tennyson and poems titled Tithonus, The Lotus Eaters, and of course Ulysses. However, module 4 will be the continuation of the interpretation of the poem Ulysses. From module 5, 6, 7, we will delve into writings of Robert Browning with a special mention to his poem Rabbi Ben Ezra. We will try and explore to understand some of his philosophical ideas and his outlook on life that he embodies in the present poem. I would like to mention few of his ideas, philosophical ideas, such as Browning is of the opinion that life is a precious gift. Therefore, it should be viewed in its entirety, giving both phases, be it youth or old age, equal importance and significance. He is also of the opinion that failures in our life should not be viewed as disappointment. Rather, it should be viewed as prophecies of our success. So, some of the philosophical ideas that he has stated in the poem Rabbi Ben Ezra. Other than these, we will also try to understand the interpretation of the present poem by taking allusions and intertextual references. However, last module, module 8, will explore a comparative study with critical insights, wherein we will understand a grammarian's funeral and Rabbi Ben Ezra parallelly. The last lecture of the present module will be a brief summary of preceding lectures of the course. So, whether you are a student at undergrad, a postgrad level, a literature, or simply a poetry enthusiast, I invite you to join this course and let us together discover Browning and Tennyson in a new light. Thank you.